Hello everyone for round 2 of the vlog down. Today you are joining me in my garden for bluebells and bees. So these are British bluebells, and if you have a look at them, they have very long thin, let's get that in focus, very long thin flowers, which makes them quite difficult for insects to get into and pollinate. Okay, so I just want to clarify that this is not going to go into the identification of the different bluebells that you can find in the UK, but I will just mention some quite interesting facts about some of them actually, such as these Spanish bluebells, which I'm near now at the moment. These are actually better for pollinators than the British ones. Now, I'm not sure if you can hear that, but there's a honeybee just behind my head somewhere, just here, I think. But these are actually much better for pollinators, and the reason why is because if you have a look at the way the flower is shaped, they are much bigger and broader and allow, when comparing to the British bluebell, much bigger and broader and allow the bees to actually get inside. However, the Spanish bluebell is an invasive species into the UK and regularly hybridizes with our British species, presumably due to cross-pollination, which is actually quite interesting in itself. So the reason why it's interesting is because if these are better for pollinators, how do they then get cross-pollinated? So some species do pollinate the British bluebell, otherwise it probably wouldn't be a thing. It's just less than these Spanish bluebells. So if you look at the British bluebell, they are much thinner and narrower, so that actually sort of decreases the amount of the bees that can get in there. So for example, honeybees often need to be able to actually perch on the flower, which is why these are quite good, because they're bigger and more able to do that. It's interesting to see though the difference between the amount of bees in the two between the two species. So this one I've seen honeybees, hairy-footed flower bees, several species of bumblebee as well, some nomad bees, and also some mining bees. Whereas if you look at the British bluebells, they tend to only be visited by bumblebees and occasionally honeybees, which is just quite interesting to see. I will just say this is not a pro Spanish bluebell video. I'm just simply trying to show that there are pros and cons of some species, even though that these are actually non-natives. So these are the typical ones that you find in people's gardens, which is unfortunately the one that I also find in my garden right now. So I thought I'd look into a couple of quick facts, and actually it's quite interesting that over 50% of the world's bluebells are found in the UK. That's quite an incredible statistic when you think about it. But due to the fact that the British bluebells are so sort of vulnerable when the habitat goes and stuff like that, if Spanish bluebells start encroaching on them and forming these hybridized plants, that's when we could begin to have a problem. It's also interesting to know that bluebells are poisonous to humans, dogs, cows and horses because they contain glycosides. And glycosides are a chemical, and I don't know much about glycosides to be completely honest, but bluebells are poisonous to humans, cats, horses, and not cats. Well, maybe cats. I don't know. But dogs, horses, cows, and humans. So, due to the fact that I took so long trying to explain the bluebells, I'm deciding to move the bumblebee, or well, the bees bit, to a different video. So just enjoy a few clips of bees enjoying the bluebells in my garden. See you guys on Saturday and stay safe.